Hey YouTube, this is your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Well, this morning I made a video and I thought it downloaded pretty good, but when I listened to it, it didn't sound right. It cut off and right in the middle of it. And I'm the type of person I usually go with what I do the first time. I should do more editing, but my phone is kind of funny. It acts like what it wants to act like, so. But let's take two, okay? So, as you know, it's been about a couple of days ago when there were two back-to-back mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, and in Dayton, Ohio. Now, in the total collection of the shootings, 30 people were killed and several people were injured. And the debate is about what causes these shootings. Why does it happen? And the truth is, no one really has a true answer. One side would say it's video games. Another side would say it's what's on TV. One side says mental illness. And my personal belief, also one of the biggest beliefs, is currently the leadership of America. As you all know, a certain gentleman who's in the White House has made a lot of remarks and comments. He recently did a press conference, and truthfully, it's kind of like, man, what you say does not help. It does not really help. And it's just, like I said before, it's sad that this is happening. And it's just, what can people do? I mean, like I said in my earlier video, I'm going to talk about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was created almost 300 years ago. And it was at a time when America was still independent and under British rule. I should stop saying we, because in America, I'm not counted as American. But you can't help but say it every now and then. But America, when it decided to get away from under British rule, they created the Constitution and all its amendments. And the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. Now, that was created when we were going to war with, countries like not just England and Spain and several other countries that wanted to invade America and take over. But now, we don't really need guns for that. You don't worry about some British soldier kicking in your door and try to take your family hostage, and you try to shoot them with a flintlock, a pistol. That was the reason for that. Nowadays, you might have to worry about some guy coming up in your house with a gun, but not that bad. The problem is that people got to realize that sticking to old bygone ways does not help. America is changing. It's becoming different. There's more people coming here that's trying to make it great. And that was one of the reasons why those guys shot up those people, because they said, like I said, in El Paso, it's 80% Hispanics in that city, because El Paso is close to Mexico. And in Ohio, there's a growing black population there. And the reason why these people are coming out of the woodwork is because of what a certain person has said in the comments he made. Now, recently he made his little speech and gave his little conference. He pretty much contradicted himself. If he goes back out there and starts saying the same shit, call his ass out. Now, how I feel about this, what can we do? I don't know. I mean, gun violence is just something that's part of America. And we talk about other countries, how they have violence, how they shoot out, they have wars. But America, we're no different. We're not. We talk about third world countries like in Africa and certain like in the Middle East and some countries in Europe. But America, you can't be talking about this and that country and not realizing we do the same thing here. America has more crime violence with guns than several countries. Like the UK, as I said it before in the other video. If you ever heard a video, I said that in the UK, police there don't carry guns. Only time you carry guns is like if it's a serious emergency when they have to. You know, as you know, the police are called Bobbies. This is my man Stammer MC. My brothers Leon Dumpson, Dumpson. Y'all brothers over in England. Y'all know how it is. And they don't carry guns unless it's an emergency, unless they have a reason to carry guns. Here in America, our police carry guns. If you notice, the past few years, there's always been shooting, especially of people of, African American descent, such as myself. And in 1 year in America, death by guns calculates to compared to 100 years in the UK. Think about it. 100 years in one country compared to 1 year in another. Isn't that crazy? And I said also before in my other video, countries like Japan have very strict gun laws. Like you rarely ever hear about mass shootings in Japan. In my sense, some people always think that they still fight with swords, but that's BS. That's bullshit. Come on, get your head out your ass. The truth is, America, we have to adapt and change with time. And the reason why guys like this who are out there shooting people, it's not because they're crazies, because they're lone wolves. They're just some sick people who think that they believe that it should be only one race, a superior race. And they do this shit just to get attention. They don't do it just to kill. They do it to get attention. And like I said, the shooter in Dayton, he shot his own sister, and a friend. These are people that love you, especially family, love you unconditionally, and you will kill them. That tells me what kind of person you are. You don't care about nobody's life, not even your own flesh and blood. Like I said before, I had a sister. I grew up with 3 of my sisters. They're all older than most of us boys. And I love my sister. She passed away 2 years ago. Anytime I could do for her, she could do for me. I don't understand why somebody would do that to their own family, own flesh and blood. You came for both the same man and woman. And you do that to them. I just don't understand. Now, there's protests and marches, saying gun change and rules. But here's what I said again. The politicians work for the people. And you must remind them that they work for you, nobody else. They work for you. They don't work for you. It shouldn't have to be whoever has the most money or whatever favor get out. They should work for who put you in that place. It's, politicians are not like the president. He's not the head of the country. He's only a general manager. You are the employer. And like any job, if you got an employee that doesn't do a good job, you fire the ass. That's what he likes to say. You're fired. That's what I love to see happen. If he loses in 2020 and put him out, I think we should all wear shirts that says, "You're fired." But like I said, America has always had a long history of violence, going back to the Wild Wild West days. Going back to the days of, cowboys. And that's always been like some kind of nostalgic time for people. People like to think of nostalgic times. You have people reacting Civil War reenactments. What for? When black people talk about racism, and white people say, well, you gotta forget about it. You gotta get on with that. But then you're gonna celebrate a war, the reason why it was started because of slavery? Come on. But these shootings, I mean, it's bad. It seems like it's gotten worse, like I said before. It's one thing you had the Parkland shooting a couple of years back, about a couple of years ago. Then you had another shooting before then, and then these two just recently. No, it's not me peeing. That's just some water coming out of the air conditioning. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. But America, country that we supposed to. Everybody looks at as this country now. Before then, they look at us like shame. Before then, they had a little bit, they had more of a respect for America. But we're losing respect day by day, bit by bit. Now I can't put it on one person, but he is one of the reasons for it. What needs to be done? Let's realize some of my history. Years ago, I'm gonna point this out again. Years ago, there was if you all remember, Ronald Reagan. If you were born before the '80s, or at the '80s, like I was, Ronald Reagan was the president, at the time. And there was this guy named John Hinckley Jr. John Hinckley shot at Reagan. He hit him, but not too bad. But he hit his press secretary, James Brady. James Brady was paralyzed from that shooting. Because of that, he inspired him to, try to change policy when it comes down to gun laws. Because of him, the new laws put in where you had to have at least 7 days before you be able to have a gun. You had to have ID and no criminal record. Now, the problem is with some of these situations that some of these people who take these guns don't have criminal records, but sometimes they might have some mental issues. And that's one rule you need to put in, that if you have any psychological issues, like you have been put into a facility for mental illness, you shouldn't allow you to have a gun. If you're not well enough to walk among regular people, you shouldn't have a gun. And these weapons like here, talking about like, these are high power weapons that, here it is. When you have war creates ideas. And many of these weapons come from war. What do you need a high power rifle for? I mean, most of the time, it's not like you got to hunt for food anymore. I just don't understand, And people stop using the same excuse when you have a white shooter saying, oh, he was mentally ill, he was a lone wolf. No. Now, it was a black shooter, the story would be different. You can't even trust the regular news, even the news that's, that's not fake news, aka Fox News. We got to do better, America. We got to realize we can't stick to the idea of what the Second Amendment means. See, that's why I said also before that it's the youth of this country that's going to change it. The new generation who sees that it can't stick to the old ways. But you can't be safe for all young people. It's about who teaches the young people. It's just one of those things that as a person you have a choice. What you do and how to do it and how to live. There's a better way to do things. There's a better way to solve problems. And we don't solve these problems anytime soon. More shootings like El Paso and Daytona and Parkland and Sandy Hook and the church in Charleston are going to happen. We can't turn the shooters into a victim. He's not a victim. The victims are the people who are ones who got hurt or got killed. The victims are the people who had to marry a family member. What's his children? How you want to be a parent and you have to bury your child before you bury yourself? Like I said, one movie I liked with Denzel Washington was John Q. And we said in it, I'm not going to bury my son. My son's going to bury me. No man has to bury his child before his child buried him. Anyway, I had to redo it because, like I said, what I listened to earlier, it didn't sound right. I need to get some editing equipment like my man Coach. I want to be like my man Coach, like my man X.A. Gucha. I want to be like my man, General Africa, and all my CSA Combat Sports and LBDC family. But we got to do better, America. My prayers and thoughts are to the families and the victims of El Paso and Dayton. And those who are left this world, I hope you found a better place. This is man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out.